We just got an email. We just got an email. We just got an email. I wonder who it's from. Boys, I have some horrible news to share. This news is so ear-shattering that even Helen Keller couldn't believe it when I told her. Unfortunately, Dave did not accept my 1v1 offer. Now I know what you're probably thinking. This would have been the match of the century. This would have been topping the whole YouTube boxing thing going on. I agree, but the fortunate part is my favorite pen pal did send me another email. And yet again, to nobody's surprise, there are no brain cells to be found anywhere within the text that was sent to me. Make sure you guys buckle up, grab a nice snack, and a nice cool beverage, like Gamer Steps. Using code SWAT at checkout, you can get a discount. Because this email I'm about to show you is the craziest thing you'll ever see in your life. This email gets off to a really interesting start. No introduction, no lube, no nothing. It just slips right on in there. The first line of this email is a link to a Vice.com article that is titled Cheat Maker Sues Bungie for Hacking Its Destiny 2 Hacks, which is obviously referring to the public lawsuit, Bungie versus Aim Junkies, that I've been covering for a while now. There are other videos if you want to catch yourself up on that. The TLDR is Aim Junkies is countersuing Bungie, claiming that they were hacking into one of the founding members of Aim Junkies, like personal files on his personal computer and all this other weird, crazy stuff. When I first got this email and saw the first line of it was a link, there were red flags going off everywhere. I had just woken up from an 11-hour slumber and I was still able to tell you that something wasn't right. Number one rule of emails, Discords, basically any messaging service, is you never click on a link that somebody sets you that you don't know. Even sometimes people that you do know can get hacked. This has happened to me before where I've seen people that I know personally and I'm friends with on Discord send me links. It's very obvious sometimes when like these phishing scammers send you like a whole copy paste and then a link to something. It's pretty easy to distinguish sometimes, but sometimes you never know. Because if you click these links, next thing you know, you're looking at your bank account on your phone, you got $0, and then you peep out your window and your car's being towed, you never know what can happen. So what I ended up doing is I took the name of the article from the end of the link that he sent me, I put it into Google, and it turns out this actually is a real article. And in the subject line of the email that was sent to me, our good pal Dave literally just said, read the bottom of the article. Okay, so I scrolled down to the bottom of the article. Let's just read the last few paragraphs, shall we? Furthermore, Aim Junkies accused Bungie of having circumvented the DMCA of Aim Junkies cheat software by purchasing, cracking, and reverse engineering the software to develop more anti-cheat technology. Aim Junkies then request that Bungie pay for damages, drop Bungie's own charges, and halt the LSLA and DMCA violating practices. Aim Junkies has, throughout the entire process, repeatedly claimed that cheating in video games is not illegal. It is, however, annoying and somehow manages to make every party involved, from the cheaters themselves to the original studio, look extremely goofy, much like the trial which it has spawned. Schaefer also shared a message for the people who played games made by Bungie between 2017 and 2021. You should be aware if you are banned, there's a possibility your computer was entered illegally also, and you would be entitled to restitution if proven so, he said. And to current players, Schaefer said, you have agreed in the current LSLA, which is the Limited Software License Agreement, which you sign before you start playing the game, to allow Bungie/Battleeye to look at the game files and kernel level activities on your computer. Knowing what you know from our experience, do you trust them to be the only one looking at that on your computer? I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Dave. I think there's a better chance that the NSA is looking through my Google search history rather than Bungie. What reason would they have to be looking through anything else on my PC other than to see if I'm cheating in their game? Are you afraid they might find the one or two naughty videos you might have watched last week? I'm not really sure what he's trying to prove here. If he's trying to tell me that, like, them having access to look at the game files on your PC if you were banned for cheating is, like, illegal or something. That's usually how an anti-cheat works. Usually they're able to scan the game files of whatever game you're playing to make sure you're not a cheating loser. And honestly, thank God this Dave guy is not his own lawyer in this whole case. Because honestly, if he was, I probably would not have the luxury of being able to watch this entire thing crash and burn. Okay, so going back to the email, the only other line in this entire thing is he said, "We never agreed to any of the LSLAs." I don't know how a Vice.com article is supposed to prove to me, and I'm not the judge, by the way, that anybody at Aim Junkies did not sign any of the LSLA agreements. And again, last time I checked, I said this in the last video, I'm 99.999% sure that the game forces you to sign this agreement before you start playing. Otherwise, they will not let you play the game. And regardless of whether that's true or not, there is actually zero factual evidence here. This is literally empty words on a page. This article shows no physical evidence. It's not like I have this guy's PC in front of me to see what was accessed by Bungie, allegedly. Sending me a Vice.com article is basically the equivalent of submitting a Wikipedia page for your PhD final paper. While I was reading the rest of this article just to see what it had to say, I also learned a very interesting piece of information. It turns out that this guy who's supposedly been emailing me, Mr. David Schaefer, is actually the corporate president of Phoenix Digital Group, which was the company that owned Aim Junkies. I also have come to the conclusion there's a particular reason why I didn't hear from my favorite pen pal for a few days is because he was waiting for this article to come out. I got an email from him basically right after this article had come out. And if you go and read it for yourself, you'll kind of get the feeling that obviously Vice is supposed to be neutral on what they're reporting here, but the text that is written inside this article makes it kind of sound like Aim Junkies is innocent in this whole situation or has reason to be. Another really important piece of information from this document was in the paragraph where it talks about May, referring to Mr. May, who was the guy who had the PC that was supposedly spied on or hacked into by Bungie. He was a contractor working for Aim Junkies who signed the Limited Software License Agreement, the LSLA, of Destiny 2 in 2019. Which as of 2019 did not allow for Bungie to monitor user files for anti-cheat purposes, although such clause is now a part of the game's LSLA agreement that you'll sign if you make an account and play. And it wasn't until later in 2021 when Bungie finally added the BattleEye anti-cheat. So there's roughly about a 1 to 2 year gap between when Mr. May had signed the LSLA agreement, which didn't at the time specify that you couldn't, I guess, develop cheats for the game, and when BattleEye was introduced, and then they said, oh, hey, we're allowed to scan your PC for cheats before you launch our game. So in my personal opinion, I think it's going to come down to whatever the court thinks or deems that somebody violated first. Because I honestly could see it both ways. Like, if it's not technically illegal or against the rules to develop cheats at the time, it makes sense. That doesn't mean, however, that developing cheats isn't a scummy move and you're probably a loser for doing so. The one thing that could possibly throw the case for Aim Junkies, though, is if they continued to try to develop cheats even after BattleEye was introduced. Because if they did continue to try to develop cheats for Destiny 2 after the new LSA was in place, then that is 100% against the user agreement. I went to double check on their website to see if Destiny 2 was still listed, but it turns out that it just seems to be gone all of a sudden. Either way, nothing that I do or say will change the outcome of this court case, and I'm very disappointed that Grandpa Dave did not accept my 1v1 offer. It would be really cool, however, though, if you're so confident in this court case, and you're so mega rich, maybe you want to fly me out to watch this court case live in your private jet. You know where to find me. Friendly reminder that everything said in this video is my own opinions based on the information that was available to me, and nothing that I do or say will change the outcome of this court case. I'm not involved in any way. Thank you for watching.